Okay, YouTube is ready. I'm going to turn this off though. All right, it's a milestone moment because right now I'm going live on Facebook over here. I'm going live on YouTube over here. We are talking about the week. This is Spotlight Live. We're talking about the week that is February 1st was yesterday. Today's February 2nd, Tuesday, February 2nd. We had a lot of big things happen with the show this week. So just want to make sure we recap it all because you can't put it all in just one post. So yesterday, everybody's on Clubhouse right now. I mean, if you're not on Clubhouse, I'm not really sure what you're waiting for. But I mean, I guess if you don't have an iPhone, then you're waiting. But Clubhouse yesterday hosted a room every day, Monday through Friday at noon to 1 Eastern. I host the podcast lunch hour where we just discuss just random Q&A. People come up, ask questions. Usually we get a decent turnout, which is great. Yesterday, we had a special guest, though, my friend Carrie Barrett, who is an Emmy award-winning broadcast journalist. She lives here in New Jersey. She's worked for Fox, NBC, ABC, just awesome. Does a lot of video content creation and public speaking training and how to present yourself on video and all that. So I had Carrie on to talk about how to conduct an interview, tips, strategies, all that kind of stuff. And it was awesome. Like Carrie crushed it. We did an hour. And for the whole hour, she was just literally just dropping knowledge bombs left and right. That's probably a Clubhouse term, knowledge bomb. But so we had Carrie Barrett on randomly. David Walton showed up and asked a question to Carrie. And if you don't know who David Walton is, if you're familiar with the show New Girl, he plays Dr. Sam, who is Zooey Deschanel's love interest at certain points of that show. So that was pretty cool, because you never know who's going to show up on Clubhouse, right? So he showed up, asked a question. I guess he's starting a podcast and he's new to Clubhouse and all that kind of stuff. So it was cool to kind of see that. So if you are on Clubhouse, make sure that you get over and get in that room today, noon Eastern, every Monday through Friday, noon Eastern, podcast lunch hour. Looking for a co-host. That would be cool. Try to take a little bit off my plate. But yeah. So that was yesterday. Today was a big day for the show itself. We had 3 episodes in connection with the show post. So one was the actual show. So that was cool. We had every Tuesday, like everybody that listens to the show already knows, every Tuesday we do a real estate episode. The real estate episode was we had Siri Ibrahim. He's from Chicago. We had him on. He is a financial planner, financial analyst, and he has this bank on yourself strategy, this bank on yourself concept. And so what that is, it's basically using like whole life insurance and using that to invest in real estate. Really like outside my depth. Like, I mean, it's interesting. I have so many people on the show that are just experts in certain things. And I don't know what the hell they're talking about sometimes, but Siri does a really good job at breaking it down for us and simplifying it in such a way that makes it somewhat easy to understand. The other thing that we talked about was his boxing. So he started boxing and he started doing it for cardio. We talked all about that. We learned that he has a jab that is like super fast. So look out. If you ever get in a fight with Siri, watch out for his jab. And he's a righty, so it's coming from here. All right, so that was the episode that posted today. So that was just another great episode. It's a little bit older. We had it we recorded it in early December, and it just posted today. So it is a little bit, there is like a little bit of a gap between those, but that's okay. Also, I had 2 guest spots post today. One was on the Radcast with Ryan Alford, where we discussed Clubhouse. I was just talking about Clubhouse before, so we discussed Clubhouse, and that was great. I mean, the Radcast is one of the fastest growing marketing podcasts in, I guess, podcasting. So that was cool to get on there. I met the producer of the show, Riley, on Clubhouse, and Ryan's going to come and pay back the guest spot on the morning spotlight in March. So we'll have his episode post sometime in March. But it was great. We talked about Clubhouse. We talked about networking. We talked about title insurance, which was interesting because obviously everybody's so interested in title insurance. And that's where he dubbed me the coolest guy in title insurance. So I think I might use that as part of the branding and run with that a little bit. So that was a lot of fun. If you don't subscribe to the Radcast, and if you're listening to this live stream, you probably don't, because maybe you don't, I don't know. But go check that out, because not only is my episode obviously awesome, all the other stuff that they're doing on there is really great as well. Also had another episode post on the podcast Unlocking Your World of Creativity with Mark Stinson. So Mark is a guy that I met through Podmax. And if you don't know what Podmax is this great event. They do it monthly, where they connect podcast hosts like myself, and they have podcast hosts like myself and guests, and they come on and you record 3 shows over the course of the day. It's just awesome. There's networking involved. It's just such a great platform that these guys, Josh Carey and Eric Cabral, have built over there. Also Jersey guys. So Jersey strong, baby. And it's just so cool to see, like, you get in there and I've had guests. So I've done 2 Podmax events, and both of those Podmax events have just been tremendous. I had Mark Phillips, Kendall Bazan, and Dan Cheeks as my guests from the first one. That's also where I met Jeffrey Hazlett and had him on the show. He was one of the keynote speakers there. This past event was just like off the charts, incredible. We had on the show, we had these episodes are going to post this February. We had Jeff Venn, Wally Conway, and Amanda Johnson. And they're not always people that fit the exact profile of the show, but at the same time, they are just all awesome guests. And that's like the one thing, especially in this podcast world, like sometimes you get people on and they're not super comfortable being guests or whatever. But what the one thing that they do at Podmax, which I think is just so cool, is Josh and Eric kind of like almost coach them on how to be a good guest. And you show up there, and obviously I'm a guy that has a lot of energy, and the guests come and they match it, if not exceed the energy that I bring. So it's really cool. So if you're interested in being a part of Podmax, if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a podcast and you want to get on there as a host, let me know. Slide into those DMs. We'll chat. I'll get you in touch with those guys. But so we had Mark had me on his show, Unlocking Your World of Creativity. It posted the same day. So technically I was a milestone episode from Mark, episode 50, which was pretty cool. And we talked about the show. We talked about podcasting. We talked about my creative process, whatever that may be. And it was really a lot of fun. It was just like, I don't get to do a lot. I mean, I am trying to make a concerted effort to do more guest spots on other shows. But it was really cool to kind of get on there and talk with Mark and just be a guest on somebody else's show. And I know that he's a frequent Podmax guy, so can't wait to maybe get him on the show. We shall see. So the next Podmax is coming up February 26th. So make sure, like I said, you let me know if you want to be involved in that one. So I will make sure, I'm not really sure how lives work, but I will make sure that I put the links to those episodes in the notes, the comments, however you do lives, here on YouTube, there on Facebook. So I will do that. There has to be an easier way to do this, because I have my phone over here recording my Facebook Live. I have my laptop over here recording my YouTube Live. So if anybody out there knows how to do this a little bit better, would love to hear from you. So then on Thursday, we have an episode, a bonus episode, because what we're going to do for the entire month of February is we are going to bring you a bonus episode every single Thursday. So obviously, like I said before, we do a real estate episode every Tuesday. That is the basis of the show. That will probably always be the basis of the show. But I personally like talking about other stuff as well. So this Thursday, we're going to have an episode post with Fitz Kohler. And Fitz comes to us from Jacksonville, Florida. She is a fitness expert. She's a race announcer. A race announcer is apparently someone that is at a marathon or a 5K or whatever, and kind of gets the crowd going and all that kind of stuff, and talks to the crowd and everything. So she's been in the fitness world for a long time. And she, I guess it was maybe like 18 months ago, 2 years ago, whatever it was, found out that she has breast cancer. So basically, her whole life is kind of flipped upside down. And she just recently wrote a book called My Noisy Cancer Comeback. And we just did an episode recently, recorded recently. It's going to post on Thursday. And it was awesome. Fitz is an absolute rock star, badass, you name it. She's that word. And we talked about a lot of different things. We talked about the fitness world. We talked about her business. We talked about her, cancer and her approach to it, and the book, and how she kind of, conveys that message to people. It was really just an awesome episode. So make sure you subscribe. You make sure you don't miss those episodes, because they'll always be there. Not like if you don't get it on Thursday, you're not going to get it at all, but you'll have an opportunity to get it right when it comes out, because it's going to be great. It was probably one of my favorite episodes to record so far. So again, recap: yesterday, Clubhouse crushed it, right? We had Carrie Barrett on, David Walton showed up, Sam from New Girl. That was really cool. We do those every day. So if you're not on Clubhouse, let me know. I'll see if I can find somebody that has an invite for you, and maybe get you on, but you have to have an iPhone. That's the caveat. Next, we had today, where we had 3 episodes posted in connection with the show itself, where we had Siri Ibrahim on to talk about the bank on yourself strategy and investing in real estate. We had a guest spot where I was a guest on the Radcast, which is a marketing podcast talking about Clubhouse, because everybody's talking about Clubhouse. And then we had, I was a guest on Unlocking Your World of Creativity with Mark Stinson, which was another just great episode. So again, I will put the links in the comments. I'm going to try to figure out how to save this after I'm done. I'm not 100% sure how to do that, but I probably should have recorded it over here, but whatever. So we're going to do that. And then Thursday will be the episode that we post with Fitz Kohler, which I was just talking about. So a lot of stuff happening this week with the Morning Spotlight. If you want to touch base, Instagram is probably the best way to do it. LinkedIn also. So make sure you let me know and let me know what you think. So we're going to try to go live at least once a week to try to give you an update on what's going to happen over the course of the week. Maybe the format changes, because this going back and forth between these 2 screens is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but we're going to do this every week. Try to give you an update on what's going on that week. And hopefully, you give me a listen on the show. And if you like what you hear, let me know. If you don't like what you hear, let me know. Just, be gentle. And so this has been great. My first ever live. So I think this went pretty well. Don't have a ton of people watching, but that's okay. I don't really care. I'll talk to anybody, even myself, for as long as I have to. So I'm going to wrap this up. This has been great. Thank you for everybody on there that's been listening and watching and everything. So links will be in the comments. Subscribe. We'll catch you next week.